Hi guys, our next guest is an educator, clinician, and winner of the 2012 Guitar Center DrumOff. Please help me welcome Juan Carlito Mendoza to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
you. Really appreciate you. Man, so I know you're an educator. You've been teaching for a number of years, right? At the different school levels, clinician, right? And you go from being a teacher to taking on the DrumOff and winning the whole thing, you know? So how has your life changed since you've become the DrumOff champion?
It's changed a lot, like dramatically in the drum world for sure. People actually get to know you and like come up to you, like A-list celebrities, what I call A-list celebrities, you know, like Benny Greb, Annika Neelis, Chris Coleman, you know, like they know who you are. You get that, you get a lot of students come up to you and think you're like the superstar per se. You know, like, oh my God, you got more than 2 million views on that video. Wow. So stuff like that changes. But I kind of try to stay grounded with all that. You know what I mean? Like I was always brought up to like, there was always somebody better than you. So like I'm always grinding because of that. But things have definitely changed, like exposure wise, but also like it keeps you grounded for me.
Wow.
For sure.
Was that your first time actually competing?
No, that was like the 6th year. I always lost to the winners. So like I lost to like Danny Rodriguez and then Donnie Marple. Then I lost to Jerome. I lost to JP. You know what I mean? Like it was just, I always made it far, but it just never happened. You know
So
what I mean?
that's just a testament to, I've seen that, I saw that with Ramon Sampson, all these dudes that, you know, have to go and do the grind. I think it's probably pretty rare you just go in your first year and, you know, you learn something every time.
It's, you never win the first year. Like it's just because you don't know the game. You know, it's essentially what you're doing is you're playing a game.
Right.
And you're trying to fulfill all these categories, you know, and there's too many variables involved too.
Right.
Like who's judging and
you're right.
You don't know who's judging, you
That's
know.
right.
You don't know who your competitors are.
Right.
Even though now it's a little bit easier because everybody kind of checks up on each other, you know. But when I started, that wasn't happening.
Right.
You know?
No espionage.
Yeah.
So I hear you. But wow, man. So, well, you know, congratulations. I mean, that's amazing, and it's cool to hear just how that's. I always tell people it's kind of like the American Idol for drummers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Exactly what it is.
And so that's pretty cool. And I know, like I said, I know you've taught at the middle school level for a long time. You've done clinics, you know, being an educator for so many years. Are there things that you see constantly or consistently that drummers need to improve upon, or just skills that they're lacking?
Yeah, I think one is timing, for sure. I think the biggest one now is musicianship. I think there's a lot of chop stuff happening, but I think that's starting to die down, and people are getting back into like, you got to listen to what's going on around you, and it's not about you, it's about serving the music. So I think it's going back to that. But I think it's just fundamental things though, you know, like people have always, like the last couple of years, it's just been all about flash. Right. Now it's like, all right, let's get into like the deep stuff, which is really like foundational principles, you know? So I think that's the trend that's happening right now.
That's interesting. You know Actually, who was it? Thomas Pridgeon, who when I think of chops drummers, he's right up there. You know what I mean? He just released a thing called the Pocket Challenge, hashtag Pocket Challenge, and just it kind of caught on fire. You know what I mean? It's like, I agree with you that the trend seems to be stemming away from just, you know, it's just like, how can I be more musical? That's getting a lot more credibility than I feel like it has in the last couple of years.
So guys like, for example, like Ash Thoen and guys like Benny Greb, you know, even Mark Juliana, like dudes like that are like paving the way to like, hey, let's actually play some music, you know what I mean? As opposed to like a crazy chop fest, which is like, don't get me wrong, because the chop stuff is really cool, but there's a time and a place for that. Right. You know, now it's like drummers here, space is like, I got to fill up all that space, you know what I mean? When the smartest thing probably would have been to just leave it there and it would have been more effective. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So like, just having big ears, you know, musical ears, you know, and just being open to that. I think that's the most important thing that's happening now. Right. So.
Wow. It's not all about us, right?
No.
It's a humbling experience.
Shouldn't be, you know what I mean?
Wow, man. Yeah. Well, that's awesome.